So why does every entry-level job require years of experience, but that job is so I can get other experience, but it's like no one's gonna hire me if I don't have experience, and experience needs experience. It's the catch-22, the chicken before the egg. My name is Angelica. I'm a new grad in the workplace, and by day, I'm an associate product marketing manager at a tech company. And then by night, I am a digital content creator. So I'm online sharing my experience as a Gen Z lifestyle, tech, career, going through this process together. So if you see me online, definitely say hello. Today, we'll be talking about how to break into the workplace, entry-level jobs, try to get experience when you don't have experience. I got you. And don't forget to subscribe to the LinkedIn YouTube channel. Number 1, experience is experience. I'm talking clubs, nonprofits, volunteer, school projects, school work activities, anything like that, part-time jobs, and people underestimate the importance and power of all those things, and especially campus jobs. Campus jobs are real jobs. You're working for an institution, for a campus, for a club, for a professor. There's so many things you can do. I feel like people discredit, or to you it's obvious, but you can extract different skills, experiences, action, results, a story, and at the end of the day, it's something you get to put on your resume and you get to talk about it with recruiters, people you network with, and it's definitely a valuable experience. It's really about how you present it and how you talk about it and what you learn. So just remember, experience is experience, and especially when you're starting out, any experience is going to be valuable. Next, the power of storytelling. As important as what you do and when you did it and how you did it, you get to put it all together by making a story. So I know not everybody has figured out their story, and that's okay. Maybe that's part of your story. So figuring out common themes or subjects, or even just like things and interests that you've researched or reoccurring things that you want to highlight, this is going to be a great way for you to piece that together. If you can just kind of find an overarching goal for yourself and piece together different activities, that's going to be a great way for it to be a very holistic, big picture. And this leads me to my next point. When you have a resume, you want to make different types of resumes, because especially when you're entry level and you're just starting out, I feel like for me at least, I was just trying to get any experience, and you never know what experience is going to lead to your next one, what skills, what people, even if maybe the space or the industry is not what exactly where you want to be. Starting out, getting your foot in the door is just as important. So having different variations of your resume. So maybe you have a business strategy and operations one, maybe you have a consulting one, maybe you have a marketing one, maybe you have a sales one. Whatever it is, make a few different types, and then you take your experiences that you have and extract those qualities that kind of pivot or point towards the position that you want. That's going to be a great way to be more efficient, but also really effective when you're applying to different positions. And again, resumes are really important because they, are the first thing that they look at. So all these things are going to be helping you maximize your chances and getting your foot in the door or any opportunity. A strong resume has a story in each bullet point. I know people just like to add fluff words to reach to the end of the line, but really it should tell what you did, how you did, the takeaways, the results, the skills you use. It should be like a little mini story arc every line. Or even if they're not huge numbers, it's always good to have action, number, and results, and then you can add those skills as well. Next is the importance of networking. Obviously, I've always been talking about the power of networking across all my platforms, in-person networking at school, at events, anywhere you go, and not in an inauthentic, like snaky way, but if you see an opportunity where people are mingling or you want to introduce yourself, people are, for the most part, in my experience, have been really eager and open to helping out, especially college, new grad, entry level, and people always obviously love when people ask them for advice and help, and people like to talk and share about their experience. So if you can be that little mini mentee, archetype, it'll help you learn and get a lot of opportunities. A very, very powerful tool, obviously, is setting up your LinkedIn account. There's so many ways you can do this. Basics, treat it like a resume, but resume with a little spice. Add more things, add links. You can really get into more details and be a little bit more, not wordy per se, but craft better, like bigger stories within each experience. So you can connect with the different filters, people from your university, your school, your old jobs, your teachers, your mentors. There's so many people you could be adding, and then it starts to just build your circle, and it just starts to grow like a web. I always like starting off with university because it's just an easy one to connect on. And I always tell people when connecting with people on LinkedIn, always add a note. A lot of people add me on LinkedIn and I never get a note. And honestly, I'll just skip through it. So it's really important you add a little note, even if it's short. And another great thing about LinkedIn is people are always posting, whether it's recruiters, interviewers, people on different teams sharing their cool projects that they've launched, and maybe they're hiring or an intern or freelance. There's so many things and opportunities always on LinkedIn. I feel like it's a really great way. And also learning about certain jobs or experiences or what different companies are doing. It's just a great way to kind of keep up with what everybody is doing. Job portion of LinkedIn, of course, being open to jobs, clicking that button. Also, they have a whole bunch of jobs. A lot of companies post on LinkedIn, like every opportunity I've ever seen has been on LinkedIn. So it's just a great way to centralize yourself and build that online resume persona. And it's going to be also very important when you get referrals, which is a great way to get a little bit of an edge when applying to companies. And most referrals I've gotten have been through LinkedIn, but I can make a whole video on referrals. But basically it's like a special invite into a company. Some companies it helps a lot, other companies it's not as much. But again, it probably can't hurt. So there are various ways you can go about this, but it's all about building authentic relationships, being intentional, not feeling like it's just like, I'm gonna use you, you're gonna use me. Trust your instincts and your gut. If you feel like the relationship is at a point where you can, ask for looking over my resume, do you think you could connect me with somebody, on the recruiting team or opportunities, maybe segue into a referral. Some people are gonna be more open to it than others, but again, at the end of the day, you don't know unless you try. So hopefully this is going to maximize your opportunities, but also educate and exposure and all that stuff. So once you're in the interview process, congratulations. And even if you're not there yet, these are some great things you can prepare for. Number one, you want to get really good at talking about yourself, your experience, and not in an egotistical way, but in a way that is very concise, straight to the point, but also you want to get to the things you want to highlight on your resume. And also when you get the opportunity to ask them questions, I feel like this is a great way for you to get to know them, maybe their day-to-day experience, what the team structure looks like, how much of it is already planned, or if it's more startup-y, and making it up as you go along. I'm sure these are things you're going to want to know if this is going to be potentially your new job. LinkedIn has a lot of resources showing what companies have been up to, like I said before, so you can show a little bit of like, hey, I saw you guys do this and I would love to learn more about that. And I don't know, make it a little bit more thoughtful and detailed. I think that could be a great way for you to also stand out. So a little bit of my journey as a new grad, I was really fortunate that I did land a junior year internship right before the pandemic, and that translated into my first full-time job. However, landing that first internship was so difficult because everybody was looking for experience, and I'm like, I'm trying to be an intern so I can build experience for a real job, but many of these internships look for other experiences as well. So for me, like I said, I really leaned into my campus clubs. I was involved in my campus newspaper, and that was a whole nonprofit thing that I was able to lead as the marketing manager. Local experiences, whether it's volunteer work, at the hospitals, I was shadowing some doctors, so I also built that into my story. Like I said about story, I was a business administration major, but I also had a minor in nutrition toxicology. So I had that pre-med experience that helped me blend those two things, and I can really build a story, whether it's for tech, for biotech. And also, I think it helped me stand out, and I showed that I have other interests beyond just marketing and business, but also other things that potentially could spark my interest, and who knows where the next chapter of my career goes. The amount of people I've networked with on LinkedIn and coffee chatted virtually in real life, did chats back and forth asking for feedback or mentoring or helping out and just trying to find people who I can click with, there was a lot. And so I think all that put together is what really worked out for me. And in the end, looking back at it, I was like, all that prepared me to land my dream position and my dream internship, my dream job and all that stuff. And so even if you don't land your dream internship or your dream jobs, all about just landing something, and then it's going to evolve and you're going to pivot and develop. So many people who I met through LinkedIn, alumni, of course, were so gracious with their time and education, and it made me feel so much less alone. It was really great to hear those affirmations from those people who've been in the industry, and it's just a scary process and it's really stressful sometimes. So in the networking department, I feel like that was a great way that prepared me for interviews, recruiting, networking, just talking with people, sharing my experience with people, and all that. I feel like right place, right opportunity. That's what the luck preparation equation is like. So yeah, and that is it for this video. I hope this was helpful, especially for my entry-level job, internship, new grad, new career type seeking individuals. I hope this was a little bit, or maybe a lot of it, helpful. Let me know of some of your experiences or your struggles or things that you've picked up along the way that maybe can help some other people out there. Leave it below, and I will see you all next time on the LinkedIn channel.